Eventually. Now they can't shoot through it, but they might be able to dig a hole in it and drop down, maybe in the back bedroom. Now remember, when things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is. Use pistols at short range, at 4 firepower and less reloading. Eventually. Now they can't shoot through it, but they might be able to dig a hole in it and drop down, maybe in the back bedroom. Now remember, when things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is. Use pistols at short range, at 4 firepower and less reloading. Now they can't shoot through it, but they might be able to dig a hole in it and drop down, maybe in the back bedroom. Now remember, when things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is. Use pistols at short range, at 4 firepower.
That's just the way it is. You gotta get plumb mad dog mean. Because if you don't, you either live it's just the way it is. My shirt's all screwed up. Oh well, screw it. Nothing's ever easy. All right. There's one stock I promised not to talk about, but it's up. So I'll amend my edict. If that thing gets to prices where it had before, maybe I can talk about it then. We'll see. But I do think I can talk about the filing they had, which I'll do after Ham comes on. I don't know when Ham's. Let me see. Ham might have called me. He did. Okay, so let me see if I can get him on. Hey, KYP.
Battery 100%.
Oh. My dog knocked everything down the other day. I'm not blaming him. He's just a poor puppy. It's getting old. It's getting very old. Okay, so there, we got that. Bring it closer. Okay. Don't buy. I mean, you do what you want to do, but you shouldn't be buying that right now. I mean, if you've got a urge to just suffer, go ahead and buy. But there's better things to buy. If you want to pay 1.5 pennies for something, buy Logic, LGIQ, and see what happens with that. Then come back and buy. But anyway, everybody needs to make their money back in exactly what they lost it in. It's a human requirement. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose in that stock, so I got to make it back in that stock. I don't know. All right, let me see if I can get him.
Hey, Bill, what's happening?
Hey, I don't know. Are you done with therapy?
Yes, I just got back home.
All right. So if you want to go live, I can put you on the speaker.
Let's go. Oh, my friend.
All right. You're on the speaker.
Let me just take a sip of my Coke and I'm ready to go.
A SIP, not an S.
What?
You said, let me take a sip. I wanted to make sure that's what you
No, I
said.
said, let me take a shit.
That's what I was worried you said.
So, William, your NIXX, I heard it was raising money and the stock goes up.
Yeah, so maybe we're.
What is going on?
Maybe we're
sleeping with cats. What's going on? Everything's insane now, right?
Maybe we're finally going to change the playing field somehow. Maybe over the counter's coming back. I don't know.
Well, that's what I believe. I believe that I think that stocks that have naked shorts, the shorts are trying to wiggle out of these names. I don't know how big a short is in that name.
Yeah.
I bumped into a shareholder that thinks that the short is there, but not as big as everyone thinks. It's not, hundreds of millions of shares.
Right.
But there's enough short here to drive the stock.
Well, it's up 83 cents. I didn't realize that. That's a nice move.
On secondary.
Yeah.
Think about that. Finger motion has done zero. And all we do is have a seller every day. Remember, a long can only sell the stock once. Right?
Right.
And when they're done selling, there is no selling, right? So where is the selling manipulation always come from? It will end.
Joe Mama?
It'll end just like anything else.
His mama?
I posted from therapy when they had Trump going down to 34. I said, buy the dip. And it can't get any easier. It gives you the trade every day. Every day, DJT gives you buy the dip, sell the rip. Every day. It was like that in GameStop, but I told you it didn't exist anymore there. And DJT is the buy the dip, sell the rip star now. All right? Finger motion is the accumulation play. And when they do come, you'll be happy that you accumulated. That's the difference. So each stock has a different little thing going on. NIXX, which I know nothing about, just that you spoke about it, and I don't even know what you said. I heard people on that's it. But how does the company do a secondary and the stock go up? That's new to me. That's usually the naked shorts will punish the company for trying to raise money. It's a negative thing. Now all of a sudden it's a positive thing. William, it's going back 30 years. They're turning the clock back.
I didn't read it. Maybe it's like it used to be when companies raised money, they went up. It could be the use of proceeds. We don't know. I don't know if it says it in there. Could be. Who knows? But
no,
that's some fast acting Tenactin right there.
All I know is that KNW and GMGI are funded by Lynn Partners. Millions of dollars in both of these names.
Right.
And their stocks continue to go lower. GMGI, it's close to breaking its 52-week low of 201. It's 219.
Right.
A high of 627. Funded by Lynn. Can't get out of its own way. Right? This company must be an awful company because they have no idea what they're doing. What they need the money for.
I don't know.
What they need the money for.
I don't know.
KNW raised 3 tranches of money from Benchmark twice and Lynn. It's 22 cents. Whatever they're doing, it's either the worst business plan in the world or there's something else going on here. Well, I'll leave it at that I believe that Lynn is shorting it, trying to get their money back. And they're in a panic because they need to short it, get their money, and convert. They don't want to go long the stock, God forbid it go up. So you can just see those are 2 names that they funded. The trend is your friend, just follow it. It's right there. All right? And in finger motion, accumulation will lead to higher prices. It always does. DJT, the people who just got out of, what was the nut house in New York? I forgot the name of it. It was on First Avenue. I can't remember it. I'm blank. First and 36th Street. I forgot the name of it. First Avenue, 36th, 37th Street. Well, those people who just got out of the nut house. It's one flew over the cuckoo's nest, the people that are shorting that name. They're shorting Donald Trump stock. They're insane. I think they're doing everything in their power to get people to sell. And you say, well, show me a pattern of that's how they do it. Well, ROOT hit a high of one, whatever. They knocked it down to 90, and today it's up $4 again on 159,000 shares. Someone is short, trying to cover. That's not long driving it back up. These are shorts trying to cover. Now, I don't know how much they have to cover. I couldn't tell you to buy the dip on this one. It's very dangerous because I think it's way above where, there's a big air pocket here, so I would be careful. But again, just shows you that when stocks that, why would anybody drive up a stock $4 on 150,000 shares? So there's obviously someone trying to cover there. That's what you got to be careful about. All right, buddy, what do you got? Anything? I just yapped about a bunch of stuff.
Well, your DJT is, I guess, in a dip.
It's in the dip already.
Yeah.
And you got to buy it below 35, anywhere between 34 and 35. If you bought 1,000 shares at 34, I'll say 34.60. You're at 45 cents. You can sell it and take the 45 cents of $450 that you made on your 1,000 shares of stock. And you go out and you buy a 45 call for next week, something far away for free, because this stock is going to gap. When Trump speaks, and I'm told, I heard that, Devin Nunes was telling people, that's the rumor, that they're going to speak about making short selling, that this stock is going to have a gap. So why not buy cheap calls with profit? I'm not telling you to buy cheap calls with fresh money. You can trade the stock and you can get free money every day from the trade. You don't have to buy 1,000 shares, even if you bought 500 shares. You make a half, you make $250, you buy $250 worth of calls. You do it. The stock gives you 3 opportunities a day sometimes. Go in, go out, go in, go out, go in, go out.
Move it in, move it out.
What else we got, Liam?
How long would it take for the finger real short to cover?
It's going to happen. I think it's going to happen super fast. Maybe a day or two. But along the way, you may find some other idiots shorting it. And that will make it levitate for a while. So I'm just going to make this number up just for an example. Let's say the stock goes from here to 500. The first short, Lynn Partners gets blown out. As it's going up, you're going to get people from Paris, from London, or Portugal, or wherever, or Boca Raton, the short-selling scumbag capital of the world. They'll be shorting 50,000, 80,000. This is a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. Those people, they shorted on the way up, thinking that the stock's going to drop from 500 back to 0. And when it drops down from 500 to 200, a lot of those guys will start putting bids in trying to cover, in which case it'll pop back up again. And I think that it'll take a little time for the elevator to keep coming down. But like I told you before, you buy it, accumulate it. When they come for it, make your exit. When the stock finally gives it all back up, it may be 2 years before it's finished. Not the real short, not the Jeff Easton short. It's going to be passing the baton to new short players, and those new short players will be playing pretty short. They're not going to get roasted alive. So if they buy, let's say they shorted at 200, and it drops to 180, these guys are going to run to try to cover quickly to make that money. They're traders, more of a trading group than a fraudulent group, like Lynn.
So are there calls you'd buy, garbage calls or whatever you call it, for tomorrow for DJT?
Oh, absolutely. Let's take a look. My father was a garbage man. I told you that. So maybe that's where I learned how to do it. Let's see, the 37 and a half to 20, the 21 to 27 cents. You could buy 10 of them, bid 22 cents. It's $220. That means you're long 1,000 shares at $37.60 or $37.70, excuse me. That's where I live. And every once in a while, you get like this thing. Let's say this thing turns and runs back. It was almost 37 today. If it runs and it gaps and it opens up tomorrow 45 minus 37.70, that's what you make, like $7,000 for $220.
And that
The only reason you would play a stock like this because it has the potential of a massive gap, and the stock is in motion already, so there's a chance. I'll say it's a 30% chance you get that home run swing, right?
So you're saying we have a chance.
There's always a chance. Like finger motion doesn't have that option play yet. That doesn't mean it can't go. But once it starts to swing, like once it swings to 260 and it pulls back, that's when you buy the 3s or the 4s because now it's in play. Because that means the trend is ready to go. Let me just tell you something about algorithm trading, which I discussed with a good friend of mine this morning. The algorithms like Citadel, they have these, let's say a switch or a radio knob, where they are, the first switch is to buy, the second switch is to sell. And they're making sure attacks on DJT or any of these AMCs or GameStop. They may sell 10 shares and buy back 2. Do you understand the ratio?
Mm-hmm.
So the pressure is always pushing it down, but they are buying back a little as it goes. They're buying 2 shares, selling 10. And doing that will keep the stock trending lower.
Mm-hmm.
And a stock like Root, ROOT, when the stock was 40, the button went from it went to buy 10 shares and sell 0, and that's how it gapped to 120 because there was no more selling. That's what I expect soon in DJT, and that's what I expect soon in finger motion. It's just going to be buy, no more selling at all. And that's how you get a stock. Yeah.
In that discussion, when will the fake shorts or whatever you want to call it, when will the counterfeiters start buying?
Oh, it's close to happening. Listen, when President Trump speaks about making short selling and that the possibility of jail for these criminals, you watch how fast it's going to go. Because the people that are harboring these guys are prime brokers, and they know they're part of the crime. Just like that fat guy from Share Intel says, I worked at Morgan Stanley. I make a short it every day. I make a short it every day. Who's allowing to do it? The banks, the brokers, everybody's allowing to do it. When they come out and say anybody naked shorting who's involved in the crime, hey, listen, when you rob a bank, the getaway driver goes away also, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone involved in the crime goes. You weren't in the bank, but you were part of the gang. They all go to jail, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how it's going to work. Once you separate, and the people that are part of the crime that allow it to exist, okay, there's failed to deliver in finger motion, right? How come not one person's buying in? We traded 47,000 shares today. I say it's 230 million shares. Let's just wipe this way. Let's just make it 30 million shares. You know what? That's still too much. Let's make it 3 million shares that are failed to deliver. They haven't covered one. Not one. There's 100 shares offered at 199. How come they didn't cover it? Because once they start to show momentum, it's all over. Game, set, match. That's it. There's nothing. There's no mystery to the whole thing. That's it. who hasn't failed to deliver is sitting here working with their buddies, saying, "Hey, he's good for it. Don't worry about it." Blah, blah. They're all working together. Lock one of them up, they all go down. There was a story that Kristen put up about Hindenburg getting caught in another illegal scandal again, you know, in the Wall Street Journal. We told you they're all bad. All these guys, these financial short-selling stories, you know, they're all part of it. They all team up. They write negative stories. They write anything they like. It's freedom of speech. But they tell all their short-selling friends, I shorted. William writes the story. I meet William on the street corner, give him a bag, $200,000, and William never says, how much did you make? He's just happy he got his $200,000 for the story. I made $10 million. William walks away with $200,000, and there you go. That's how these guys operate. Welcome to Wall Street, my friends. That's how it all works. Andrew Leff is probably the king of doing that stuff. Capybara, the one that wrote the story in Finger Motion, out of Brazil, 100% was paid off. White Rock, or whatever the hell that idiot was, with the dog in Puerto Rico, another character. They all do it. I told you, these guys write negative stories. They hurt the companies. They can't raise money. Their employees get laid off. It's a total disgrace what goes on. What else we got, Wayne?
Well, you talked about what DJT calls you would do.
Yeah, you buy these cheap ones for 20 cents. You go on the bid. If you want to buy 10, you buy 5 at 21 cents. You bid 18 cents for 5 or 17. So like they just tried to knock it down again. It's 34.87. Who is selling DJT down like this? No longer selling it. Everyone knows exactly what we know. It's not like I'm giving you inside information. You know the President of the United States. You know Devin Nunes is calling for an investigation. The Attorney General owns the stock. The head of the FBI is the board of director. And who's selling it? You got to be crazy. The only people that are selling it is desperation trying to get longs to sell it. And you say, well, I've seen that pattern before. It's in Finger Motion. It's the same pattern in Finger Motion. Exactly the same pattern. The only thing Finger Motion doesn't have is what? A political clout in the U.S. like that. You're talking about the most political clout stock I've ever seen in my life. And people are playing a game with it. You have to be crazy. And I don't care what you say about the company. I don't care if the company is selling used condoms. You got to settle the trades. That's the way it goes.
There's a run on those.
Used condoms. Ken Griffin, the guy from Virtue, Dirty Doug, Jeff Easton, the guys from Yorkville, Benchmark, Aegis, all these characters. And I know of a law firm that's starting to go after those brokerage firms, by the way. Maxim, Aegis, Benchmark, all those, I can't remember. Webboard.
Are you calling from Bellevue?
Bellevue, there you go. Thank you.
That's where you get your therapy?
Yes, that's where I get my therapy.
It all started with my mother.
That's I couldn't remember the name. Yeah, Bellevue. Come on, people. Let's wake up today. Come on. We're at the finish line.
It's not. It's not. I don't want to talk about that. Let's see what this is. That's just negativity. What's with the negative vibes,
listen,
the negative waves?
The negative people, just block them. Tell them to go get lost.
It's all negativity.
Negativity. Listen, people. I got you negative. We can't force this to happen. I think I said it 700 times. We're not police. If we did have a gun in the badge, it would be over. I can guarantee you that. But anyone who's cheering on Ken Griffin, Doug, whatever his name is, from Virtue, and he bought an NHL hockey team with stolen money from investors. Think about that. You have to go out and pay $300,000 to go see a hockey game and give it to this crook. Ken Griffin owns billions of dollars in property stolen. Jeff Easton, who the hell knows where he lives, and his crew sending money to Australia to his buddy Hancock. I got his name. There you go, Hancock. Everybody knows what's going on here. Devin Nunes is yelling for investigations. We're not making it up. It's right there. If anyone has a problem, go knock on the SEC's door, help yourself, go to see the FBI, DOJ, and ask them, hey, let me see the unsettled trades of these names. Is it crazy? Is it this big? What's going on? Get the number, get back to us. And if you say, well, look at MMTOP, they've been waiting, 3 years for that answer? They won't give it to them? And we are wrong? Give me a break, get lost. We've proven without a doubt that the problem exists. It's so massive, they don't even know what to do. And Jeff Easton and his crew are going to get busted. The sell tickets go back to them. His buddy's up 220%. He's got better returns than Warren Buffett, and yet he does nothing. But every stock they invest in, K&W, it's at a 52-week low. GMGI, they gave him money. The stock is 10 cents. It's 16 cents away from making a new low. How do they make money? Every stock they invest in goes straight down. Right? That's like I'm betting on it's like they're betting on the New York Giants every week. They lose money every week. Yet they're profitable. How's that happening? Listen, we won it over faster than you. And look, they had DJT 34.88. Now it's 35.07. So if you sold it before at 35.05, it dropped to 34.80. Let's say you were lucky enough to buy it back. You could have done it again. 30 cents, 40 cents, 20 cents. And you keep buying those 20 cents. A trade of 20 cents, you could buy the 37.5 for free. And you don't have $1 invested. How's that? That's bad advice. That's the best advice you're ever going to get. Using their profit, all right, and taking a free shot at playing the equity market. Imagine going to every day you can make a trade and you can get a free spin in roulette on your number. You bet the number until it comes out. You get 35 to 1. That's what it's equivalent to. Getting free bets. Everybody always wants a free spin, free this, free that. If you can trade DJT, you can do it all day long. Get a free ride for a couple of days. 35.17 now. Soon it's going to go green again, and that's when it'll take off again. They try to knock it down. They can't, and now it turns back up. Once it goes green, hedge funds will all come piling in and go get it. That's how hedge funds work. Traders work. They all do the same thing. The risky time when you're playing these buy the dip, sell the rips. Wait for it to settle down, the attacks to stop, scoop it up quick, and you make another $50. Well, more. I say the same thing every day with him, right?
Yes, you do. And they want me. Your audience wants me to be interested for every minute of your discussion.
There's not much more we can say. I'm only. The reason I yell at William is to get me something to think about, because my scope is so narrow, is that it's hard for me to go outside of it. Like today's story is NIXX. It's raising money and it goes up. If it was that easy, let's call finger motion up and say, hey, go raise some money. It'll go up, right? Who knew? We're sitting here trying to get it to go. All we have to do is go announce we're going to raise money and the stock will go up. Okay, go raise the money. We know raising money is a good thing for a company. It helps them expand. It helps them get bigger business, get bigger revenue. But when a company's under attack and their capital Okay, the only capital the company has is their equity, the stock they can give out. It's tough to sit there and say, hey, I've been in the stock for 5 years. I don't want to sell stock at these levels. This is criminal down here. And that's why companies don't do it. They're waiting for the U.S. government to wake up and finally fix the situation. Like GameStop. GameStop didn't raise money at $3.75. I forgot with the split, that $27. I think I don't even know if it's split. I forget what the split was. Maybe they're raising money with the pre-split. It's probably $50. I don't even know. I don't know the number. And they raised $5 billion from it. Not at the bottom, but above the market.
So
that's how you raise money. Go ahead.
The change in board members at Finger, is that something to talk about?
Yes, they're going to put in someone from the SEC or the FBI in there, I hope. I don't know. It's a non-event. Listen, if you were a board of director, William, and you've been there for a couple of years, and you say, hey, you know what? I have to move on. I'm retiring. I'm going with my family. I'm going to go do something else. What are you supposed to do? You have to retire, right? It is a, did that come out? I don't even know. What are we talking about?
Well, yeah, they put out a whatever, a 10Q or a 8K about, I think, at least one board member leaving.
Right, so it doesn't. Time goes on. That's what happens every day. That's a non-event. Board of directors leave, they come, they go. If you got to do something, you got to leave. Maybe you got another job. Maybe he wants to travel the world. It's not like you're a board of director of a company and you go down the street like it's a fucking Disney parade. No one even knows who you are. They start out by think it's prestigious, and you know what? It's just a regular, time consuming. When you don't want to do it, you have to be called in when their company needs you. If you haven't been part of a board of directors, it's not easy to do. Company calls you up, we're having a meeting, you got to stop what you're doing. We need you present wherever you are. Sometimes you have to travel to a board meeting. Sometimes you have to Zoom in. It's just a pain in the ass. And everybody on this phone call, everyone always has something to do. And if you have something to do, you have to, stop what you're doing and go do it. It's a non-event. Raising money and the stock going up, that's an event. You talk about a change, William. We talked about this every day. Back in the old day, you raised money. It was a great event. It always went up like this.
Well, there was a road show. You went out and told your story.
Right.
You had a book that included institutional buyers.
Right.
It's not like that anymore.
Now it's like, if you say the word you're raising money, everyone yells, kill them! Kill them! Kill that company! They don't deserve it! Mark it down lower! Make them sell it at the bottom. And I can tell you the story, and I wrote to Mark Zuckerberg back in the day, when Facebook went public. It was the biggest thing in the world, right? Mm-hmm. It went public, and they killed the stock from 40-something down to 18. And every day the story was, after it went public, how is the company, it has no way, no path to profitability, to revenue. How are they going to drive revenue? And I'm sure if you wanted to go back and look, when the company went public, I'm sure all the stories you'll see were negative when it went public. And the stock went down. And I followed it very closely. And then, after the insiders were allowed to sell, people that worked for the company for a couple of years before it went public, they were allowed to sell. And guess what? They all sold at $18. They took them out at the low. I forgot how many millions and millions of shares. People that worked wanted to get some money. And they were allowed to sell. That was the first time they were allowed to sell. Well, they sold it at $18. And the next day, the stories were all reversed, how it was the greatest company ever. So these guys bought maybe, let's say, 100 million shares from all the insiders, took them out at the low, and then took the stock back, always up to the high, because all the big players get a chance to buy cheap stock. And I wrote to Zuckerberg, and I documented the whole thing 100 years ago when it went public. I even wrote a story for Donald Trump when they destroyed Trump casinos. They were naked shorting it, and I'm sure if you Google it, Trump casinos, DJT, that was the symbol, was on Greg's shoulders. Now think about that. You can sit there and say, well, the casino's garbage and this and that, you know, and Trump stinks and all that stuff. But the rule is, if you sell a stock, you got to deliver it. That's it. But there are no rules. And I wrote it to him also. I forgot what year I did that. It was on the Reg show list. And if I ever get in front of him, I would love to tell that story. I don't know the dates, but I remember it being on there. If you could flood the market with counterfeit shares, you know, if the SEC commissioner comes in and not going to do anything about it, my advice to everybody is, if we can't beat them, join them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, why wouldn't we do it? Right? Go out there and we can do anything we like. Make it short. Let's figure it out. Let's go to the Caymans. For the people that have asked the question numerous times, hey, why don't we just make it short? And they said, well, what's going to happen? Well, you can't just walk away from it. You're always obligated. If no one's ever going to check on us, let's go to the Caymans. Let's sell whatever we can and just walk away from it. Just take the money and walk away, because people think that no one's responsible for it. The whole system is guaranteed. So you're all wrong when you say that. And guess what, people? Why would I go out and sell 230 million shares of FNGR at $3.75, right? Why wouldn't I just go out there and sell every day, sell one share of Costco at $1,000 a share, instead of 230 million shares of, Finger, or 1 billion shares of DJT? You can just sell one share of every stock that's north of 100 every day. Every day you make a fortune selling 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares. Who the hell's going to find you with 1,000 shares, right? Why would they not do that? Instead, they're sitting here pounding on the smaller stocks, trying to knock them down all the time.
If the shorts are offshore and you can't prosecute them, how can they lose their shirts when all they have to do is push a button to keep selling?
So we should all go offshore and do it then. I agree with you. So go offshore and go help yourself. Take your family, go to the Caymans. I put it up. I forgot the name of the stupid company, Black Tower, Watchtower. I can't remember the name. I put the name up. I got a tip on it. I told you that. Black Tower, Watchtower. I put it up. I can't remember the name. There's a place in the Caymans that is, we got a tip. That's been a source of GameStop sales, I heard. And I posted it on Twitter. I forgot the name of it. Go there, knock on the door. I want to open an account. I want to start naked shorting. It's so, why would you stay here and do this? Go, if you believe what you just said, whoever that person is, get on the plane, go knock on their door and say, I want to make it short. It's free money. Go get it. Everyone who says that, I hate to say it, and I'm not being sarcastic, it's a moron statement. Everyone, including that broker who sells it to you, and the prime broker, and your banker, they're all going to be on the hook for it. The government allowed this for many years, and we have fought to try to end that. And it's coming to an end. The damage is just, brutal. to everyone. And it has to end. It has to end. We've been trying to end it, believe it or not.
Why did you buy G-Bucks?
Because I'm an idiot. Where is it today? I don't even know where it is.
I don't know either.
GBUX. I bought it because there's a contact that someone knows at Goldman Sachs that told someone that we know that it's going to be a big play in 2025, and they see the stock going somewhere between 10 and 20. So why wouldn't I buy it? So I took a shot based on an investment banker from Goldman Sachs telling somebody some scoop. And if you worked on Wall Street, everyone, scoop is how it works, right? There's a guy named Scoop. When the scoop comes past you, that's when you make the determination whether you're going to get involved and follow Scoop.
That's how kitty litter works.
Excuse me?
That's how kitty litter works.
Who's kitty litter? What's the name for our kitty?
No, it's bad. Like,
Scoops. I got it.
MLSS.
Oh, MLSS, right? How's that one? I got the scoop on it. Where is that stock today? I'm not watching anything.
I don't.
$1.80. Where is it?
I don't know where the thing. Hang on.
Hold on a second. Let me look. 81 to 82. I'm down 18%.
You had a winning trade, briefly.
Never turning a winning trade into a losing trade. But for some reason, I got a good feeling about that stock. I just feel that the right people told me to get involved, and you know what? I'm here, and the news came out, so that means there's other things coming. I don't follow it. I'm there, not happy about it. But that was the same type of thing that happened in GDC. If anyone listened to what I said in GDC, I paid too high for the first price. The stock went down, and finally I averaged down. And I told everyone on this call that I averaged down. Am I correct, William?
You did.
And then the stock ran, and what did I say? Sell it. I said, the people that are playing it now are professional. I'm not. The easy money was made. Get the hell out. And that's what I did. So GBUX, I'm buying it because a very powerful person at Goldman Sachs told somebody else. That's it.
Wow.
What?
This guy Brian is riding 3,000 shares free because of your strategery.
And what?
NIXX.
Congratulations. It's the best trade in the world. You can go do anything. Go to the movies, go out drinking. You don't have to worry about it. If you want out, you get out when you want. I have 5 people, including a friend of mine from Miami who asked for my help, and I'm glad to help them. They have 3 positions in XRP. Free. They don't have to worry. Don't have to look at it. They believe it's going to be the almighty, whatever it's going to be. And I said, you know what? Play it for free. You don't have to look at it all day long. You don't have to do anything. You know, you buy 100,000 shares of it at $1.50, you're risking a lot of money, right? When they sell it, almost at $3, now they have 50,000 shares for free. And that's how the proper way to invest on Wall Street. You never go broke making a profit, and you're definitely not going to go broke when you're playing for free. But if you need the capital, you want to sell it, help yourself, get out.
Wow.
Wow, wow.
Roger turned 180,000 Bitcoin into 1.3 million using second contracts, but the platform won't release the funds till I pay taxes.
You can't get the money till you pay taxes on it.
I would guess then the person who gave you this contract, the second contract, owes the taxes, and she doesn't want to be left on the hook. I don't understand that game. Bellevue.
We all know it's Bellevue. So finger motion was 197 bid. Someone hit it. And they're just trying to mark it down. Hurry up, everybody. It's traded 60,000 shares. Out of the 60,000 shares, I will venture a guess that 40 of them is fake. And people go, well, the short sale volume is so low. I says, because it's not trading, number one. And number two, take away the fake wash trades of 2s and 3s and back and forth all day of these 500 shares or all these crazy odd lots. It drives the volume. If you take away all the fake trades, the volume is nothing. So when you see 28% finger motion short for the day, it's really 88%. Because if you take away the volume, the other side goes way up. And that's an old trick. Another old trick is that these guys are short 1.7 million shares, 1.6 million shares. How do you never cover? How do you never cover? The real short is definitely the same guy as the naked short. They're just one head. It's just one person. Because I don't think like the person next to me. I like to buy them, buy the dip, sell the rip, and play for free. William likes to buy it and hold on. The next person may like to buy it and sell 10%. Everyone has a different pattern. But it's funny that two short sellers exactly have the same pattern. They short it, never cover, and stand tall. No matter what happens. It's the same person. And all they're trying to do is spook people out of the stock. That's it. Just like they're trying to spook people out of DJT. Stop the momentum. It was almost 37 today. Think about that. 37. It was 30 and a half a couple of days ago. And I said it 1,000 times. Who's short this stock? You got to be insane. Went up $7. Like William said, nothing goes up in a straight line. XRP was going up in a straight line. What did it do? It sold off like we always said. They always do that. So if you sold into the run, you could buy the dip. Today the low was 326. If you sold it at 380, you bought it back at 330, you locked in 50 cents profit, and you got the same XRP back in your account. Instead of owning it at 2, take away 50 cents profit, you own it at $1.50. Do it again, you own it at $1. You do it again, you own it for free. That's how you play it. You can trade it for nickels, dimes, quarters, anything. So finger is 196 bid for 700 little shares and 100 shares at 197. Who wants to bet that they print 100 shares at 196 to create a new low so that people can get panicky? Hurry up, Jeff Easton. Sell 100 shares for us, please. Come on, make me be right. Listen, all these tricks these guys done, I've seen it all. I've covered major short sellers most of my life. I know exactly how they do it. I remember them putting big offers out there that they would use. If I was at my firm, all of a sudden, they tell me, watch, there's a big seller around. All of a sudden, it was a New York Stock Exchange stock. There'll be 200,000 for sale at 35. We call the floor, who's the seller? Goldman Sachs. Got 200,000 for sale. Everybody be running in front of it, trying to knock it down because they see Goldman Sachs has got 200,000 to sell. And guess what I was doing? I had $1 million to buy. I was trying to cover. Now I had no idea.
Sorry, I don't know. My computer just...
I had no idea that they were giving orders to another firm, trying to scare people to knock it down so that I can cover. So all of a sudden the stock would be 35. All of a sudden I get hit with all my bids, 34 at 95, 34.90. I'm getting hit with all kinds of size. All of a sudden, in a flurry, I buy 400,000 shares, and I report it. And all of a sudden, the offers would just keep coming and coming. And then as soon as I get down to the end, it would turn around, and there was no more selling at 35. It would all be gone. They canceled, so they spoof it, and I'd be sitting there buying it all back. How easy is that to do? How about if I was a big mutual fund, I can go out there and figure and put bids in for $1 million at 2, $1 million at 2 1/4, $1 million at 3, and drive it up with fake bids. And if they hit me, I don't care because I'm a big fund. I don't even care. They do it that way. They do it the other way. But I'm not in that business. And if you don't think they do that, they do it all day long. Now, NIXX, I don't know who's driving it up on the day that they said they're going to raise money, but it's very different what they're doing. It's new to me. I haven't seen that in 30 years. And if you said to me, Finger Motion must be raising money, well, someone sold 100 shares, but there's nothing even trading. K&W and GMGI, Lynn Partners is trying to get tiptoe out of that thing and some getting their money off the table. There's not even a question there. DJT, I don't know who's playing games there, but they have to be insane. And I think you're going to get a big gap. That's my opinion. I believe you're going to get a big gap. If Trump comes out and says something about naked short selling, I don't see why not. He says whatever he wants. Why wouldn't he say something against his investment? Why would he leave Devin Nunes and all the other people that he has at that company under attack by naked short sellers all day long? For what reason? Hammer them all. He doesn't have to say DJT. All he has to do is come out and say, anyone who sells a naked short, who doesn't deliver a share, or failed to deliver, any broker or prime broker that protects these people, we're going to add jail time to it. Whoop, it stops. Everyone's responsible. It's not just some guy at a firm where they always blame the system. If you don't look at the FINRA fines against the broker-dealers, they never confirm or deny guilt, whatever it is. It's always no one. There's no one ever in charge of these things. I told you that GBUX I paid 75 cents. You know that, right?
Yeah, so is it down?
Yesterday, I think my daughter yesterday paid 76 or 78 or something like that.
G-Bucks.
Whatever it is.
Do you think the announcement of the dividend in Finger will drive up the share price? Because buyers...
I think that the announcement of the dividend, I will get my pitching gloves, put my glove on, get a bucket of balls, and I will be pitching on that announcement. I'm going to come out of retirement, and hold on, let me get the name of this guy. I can't remember his name. Hold on. For those who in New York, who's Bartolo Colon. He was an older Dominican. No one knew how old he was.
Sexy.
He had Tommy John surgery, and he wound up pitching better.
They called him sexy.
Well, that's going to be me. I'm coming out with those big banana fingers that guy had. And I'm going to come out pitching like crazy because I think that once that comes, it's the greatest opportunity to me in the world. And don't get me wrong, there's $30, there's $50 stocks that are great opportunities, but we got a $2 stock and I got some idiot short 230 million shares. And like I said, you don't believe me? Let's make it 30 million shares. How are they going to cover 30 million shares? 30 million shares will change your life. Imagine what 230 is going to do. Again, everyone, this is my opinion. If the SEC is listening, this is my opinion, William's opinion. This is not financial advice, blah, 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 blah. I told you I spoke to a gentleman yesterday who owns 4 million shares. I'm trying to get him to double down when the news comes out. And I'm sure if he doubles down, he'll get his friends in. And the last time this guy bought the stock, he's the one that drove it from 2 to 10, buying it. So when he comes, it's going to be pretty powerful. But there's no need now. I don't need to do it now. Everybody's got positions. Retail, you want to be there? Be there. Don't want to be there? It's up to you. But once the game begins, if you look at it, DJT's in play. I said it every day at $30.50. Every day. You got $7. You just got free $7 if you were paying attention. If you're a nervous Nelly and you don't have the money, you sit on the sideline, I can't help that. I'm not upset that I didn't have the money to play it. I'm happy that people did. And I'm happy that I cannot have complete understanding of the equity market. To me, that's more knowledge is the best. And I've been here fighting for 24 years against naked short selling. And that's my goal. I'm not concerned about being, I'll use the term, William, I don't want to be as rich as John Hancock in Australia. I don't care about that. I care about my backhand, my forehand, my knee, health. I'm not looking to travel the world. I'm not looking to do anything. I'm just happy we're all here. But I do want to execute these guys. I want these guys roasted. I want them in jail. Because I have friends that have lost a lot of money to naked short selling in different names, whether it's CBM, Northwest Bio, MMTLP, you name it. And it's payback time. Now, the original criminals may have gotten away, but the next criminals are going to pay the price. That's just the way it is. And then we circle back and we'll get the original criminals, like GTI again. But we can't do anything in MMTLP. We can't do anything in GTI until they're trading again. So I can't say anything about it until it happens. What is that stock? NIX, William? I can't. NIXX? NIXX, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the symbol, that's all. People, what you do is, as a trader, I just go through symbols and I memorize prices. That's it. And this way, I remember where they're trading. So if I don't look at it for an hour or two, I come back and say, okay, FNGR is traded about 70,000 shares, 196, 198. There's 100 offered. Let me see what happens here. I just saw them put up a couple of thousand shares. We went from it's up to 76,000 now. So it showed 100 shares for sale, and yet we traded a couple of thousand. People, someone is naked shorting in here, or they're crossing it in here. They're usually crossing on the bid side, meaning whoever, like 196 is where they usually do the crosses. I always told you that. They always cross it at the low. So somebody in here may be naked shorting at 197, a few thousand shares, and maybe somebody in the audience bought some. I don't know. But the volume in the stock is definitely low on the buy side, which is okay. Stocks don't need to be bought every day. But there's 100% that they got a lot of fake trades in the middle here to create more volume, to lower so at the end of the day, when we post the naked short volume, we see it at 28%, some of the low numbers, that tells me that these guys are playing games with the volume, trying to create that number low so that people in the audience say, oh my God, they're not naked shorting anymore. And I've been putting it up at night, and I adjust it, and I say, it's a non-event, meaning it's nonsense. I can't explain it any more than that. Today's volume, anything that comes out tonight is a non-event. It's worthless. They got 230 million shares to cover. Traded 76,000 shares. I don't care if they covered all 76,000 today. It's a non-event.
So Robinhood doesn't have G-Bucks, which to me means They haven't counterfeited G-Bucks. Robinhood, it just trades counterfeit shares, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't have any access, I bought it through Fidelity.
You haven't
I have
heard?
no idea. Excuse me?
You haven't heard?
Haven't heard what?
Fidelity? No, I'm just kidding you.
Oh,
Um,
I have no idea.
Pete just bought 450 shares of Finger,
There you go. So like I said, there you go.
and
Listen, anyone who buys this stock, anytime you have a question, feel free. I'm standing here. I don't want to be, I'm not the freedom fighter. I'm here to make money like you are.
well, somebody asked you that. Somebody asked you that. Have you made money fighting short sellers, or are you just in it for the cause?
I'm in it for the cause. If I made money fighting short sellers, all right, I would have a company after company after company. I've spoken to John Berger. I helped get John Berger and MTLP with Charlie Payne. I met with John Berger. I know him from Torchlight days. I could have met with CBM. I know Gert. I met with the company CELU, trying to help him out because he's infectious disease. I tried to help him out. I tried to help out Northwest Bio many years ago. I didn't walk in there and say, pay me. You can ask MULN. I spoke with the CEO. My friends wrote his press releases to try to do a special dividend to advise him. I didn't ask him for a penny. A big holder asked me to help him out. I didn't ask for 1 penny. I wanted him to help break the shorts to help save his company. And I told him if it worked, to give me one of your ugly cars down the road, because I didn't have an electric car. That was it. He goes, don't you want anything? I said, no. I'm doing this for a friend. I'm doing it to help Donald Trump. I don't own a $35 stock. I don't have the money. How come you don't have the money? You're such a wonderful trader. Well, people, I was robbed blind by naked shorts in 2000. It's not easy to come back. I've survived trading. I survived making money. I made a nice payday in GBUX, got me through the rest of the year, right?
GBUX? GBUX?
No, GDC.
Oh. GDC, yeah.
That gave me a nice quick payday, right?
Yeah.
What did I do? I spread it out. I bought GBUX, I bought MLSS. I'm upside down in GTII. I'm upside down in Finger. I paid $287 for Finger in December of 2018. The company just got the contract to do the top-up minutes. $287, December 31st, 2018. It just got the top-up business. The company, the CEO, has just released a video with William describing big data, describing the emergency response, cell phone insurance, this, that, apps, this, that. The stock is $2. I paid $287, December 31st, 2018, just for the top-up business. They didn't even top anything off yet. It was $287. Who's holding it down unfairly? You tell me. The company had nothing back then. Zero. The company's got 15 new businesses, SMS, text messaging, I can't remember them all. And the stock is lower. Even the crooks have a $5 target on it. Think about that. Benchmark, using their financial analysts, came up with a valuation of $5 a share on the low end. Who's selling it at 2? The crooks say it's worth 5. Who's selling it to? It's someone that's trying to protect that massive short position. Think about that for a second. People, you have to memorize all the stupid things that are involved with this crime and how they try to turn it. The only thing that's hurting the stock right now is someone hitting a sell button. That's it. A sell button. Stop the sell button and watch it melt up.
When do stocks show up on day traders' overnight runs to buy the next day? I don't know how to ask my question, but
I don't.
this one's
what that
up
means.
27%. Does that ring on any day
What, say it
traders?
Say it again.
This stock,
But a stock is up on big volume, you're saying? You think
yeah,
that's
big
crazy?
volume, high percentage. Does it pop up on day traders' screens the next
Yeah,
day?
everybody's got it. People's got all kinds of screens. Listen, real traders do not go chasing that nonsense. Those are all retail people chasing these dreams and these
Swing
stocks that they know
traders.
nothing about. Yeah,
Swing
it's a
traders.
moronic game. Professional traders find stocks that they're involved with, whether it's Costco or whatever it may be. They get the information on it and they take positions accordingly.
Can you
You
swing
don't
trade
call me
while
up.
you're
You
at
didn't call
spin
me.
class?
If you call me up on my trading desk and say, look at the stock, it's trading 20 million shares, it's up 60 cents, get in there. I would sit there, hey, do me a favor, listen to the click, and hang up. We don't chase those things. We know they're very risky. We don't do those things. We're not in the business of risking. We're in the business of making money. All traders take positions. They buy dips, they buy when they don't want, and they sell them when they do. That's how Wall Street works. This nonsense of people running into all these crazy names, you know what? You'll win 2 times and you'll lose 10 times. Everyone just ran into XRP at 3 1/4 and they dropped to 226. That's why you don't chase things. You wait for them to come to you. Professional people buy it on the dips and they sell the rips. They could probably bought it down to 2 1/4, whatever it went down to 230, 240, and when it bounces back up, they sell it again. That's what they do. These scanners and these people that have all these trading things, they're all full of shit. You pay for these sites, you could do it yourself. You could follow them. Just follow them. When they all run in and the stocks get pulled back, you'll see them dumping it. They never tell you that they bought these stocks. I lost a quarter. Oh, go buy 5,000 shares of a stock and lose a quarter a day. It's $1,200 a day. They may lose 6 times in a row. And all of a sudden they go, oh, we made 5,000, we made $1. But you just lost 6 times in a row. You lost $1,200 6 times in a row. And then you made $1, you made it back, you made 5,000. Just remember this, everyone. This is super
A
important.
kiss is just a kiss.
You ready, William? William?
I'm ready.
Everyone does the same thing. We hold on to our losers and we don't let our winners run. We all are guilty of that. So instead of doing that, I've always played close to the vest. If I don't like my position, if I like what I'm doing, I have no problem averaging down. If I have no idea what I'm doing, why would I average down in a stock that some guy just told me to go buy, and I don't know, no one knows what the hell's going on with it? Oh, look at the volume. Okay, what does that mean? What's going on? I don't know. It looks good. It looks good on the chart. You know, like average trader does a lot of great chart work. He doesn't. What does he fucking know about what stocks, what's going on? He doesn't know. Oh, it's got a double tie. I told you, you can't chart through it. It's very difficult. So these guys all do this great work. It doesn't mean anything. You have to have a gut feeling in your body, understand what the stock is about. In finger motion, for example, we've seen everything. Williams put videos together with the CEO telling you what's going on. How many of these stocks have you seen the CEO? Have you met the CEO, William? Have you spoken to the CEO? NIXX, is that it? NIXX? No, right?
I think it's Granger Whitlaw. No.
No, I'm just saying that. Why isn't he out here making a video telling us what's going on? He's raising money. Why is he raising money? Can he tell us? He's not saying a word. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I don't know. So instead of getting involved with it, I kind of passed on it. It may be a winner. I don't know. But again, I'll pass on it and I'll look for a situation that I think I can catch going sideways that has least amount of risk, and I'll play it at that point. And that's how Wall Street plays, and I'm doing it a long time. I'm not doing it 2 weeks. I'm doing it 30 years. Guys, you're all bumping into people that just jumped into the business, that never worked on a trading desk, and you say, how do you know? Because there are no more trading desks. I know there's no more desks. Where are you working? No one's learning the proper way. If you go back in time, remember all the commodity exchanges? Everyone took a job as a clerk. You had to answer the phones, then you were a runner. You did all these little jobs to understand the commodities. My friends worked in the cocoa pit. My friends worked in the oil pit, gold pit, silver, whatever it may be. They all worked in these things. And that's how you learn those things. I worked on a block trading desk. I learned how to trade big positions. William worked as a retail broker. He understands the retail account. He understands research. I didn't understand research. That's not my background. My background was to buy something in the morning. If it ran, we sold it, take it easy. I didn't even know what the companies did.
To understand research, you have to read it first.
I never even looked at it. Hey, I have a question for everyone. 2 years ago, my daughter bought a keg of beer. Okay? A big keg of beer. She had a party and a bunch of people came, but no one really drank it.
It's flat.
So I got this. Now, I got that. We had the machine that you put the keg in, and that machine is gone. Now we got the stupid keg. She forgot where she got the keg from. So now I have this keg full of beer. How do I get rid of it? Is it possible that you could drill a hole in it? Is there air in that thing? Will it explode? I have no idea. I don't know.
Send it to Zelensky, and he can launch it into Russia.
You know what it reminds me of, William? From the old movies, looks like a depth charge, because they used to throw off the boats to get the submarines. I can't get rid of it. It weighs 100 pounds. It's full of beer. What do I do with this?
Which brewer made it?
There's nothing. It's just a big aluminum canister.
Just take it down to Pabst Blue Ribbon and give it to him.
I need someone else.
Just take it to your dump.
I can't. It's like, what do I do with this thing? I was thinking about getting it to drill and put a hole in it, at least get the beer out of it, and it'd be a big aluminum thing that, nice and light. But I'm afraid if I drill,
bring it to a frat party, they'll drink it.
Here you go, knock yourself out of it. I got it in front of my house. I'm like, I hope someone would just come and steal it. Someone looked like they tried to take it, but it was too heavy. And they left it.
Take it to a gun range and let them shoot at it.
That's not a bad idea.
Any liquor store will take it.
Yeah, I guess that's what I thought about. Just take it and put it outside the door.
Go to a local bar, they'll take it. Give it to Amber Heard, she'll take it.
All right, enough with the wisecracks. I got it. I'm just curious if you could drill a hole in it and get rid of the beer out of it. That's all. I don't have anything to pour beer out of it.
Go to Costco and say that you just bought it. It doesn't work, and exchange it for a new one.
Give the keg back in and get a mattress. I needed a mattress, not a keg.
I need an air conditioner that doesn't stick out so I bang my head on it. Put it on offer up for free.
It's so funny that my wife has put so much stuff on.
I would take it to the top of a building and drop it. See what
Facebook
happens.
Marketplace. We had a couch. People come and take their couch, and they take everything. It's like unbelievable that people come and just take your stuff. It's remarkable. I think it's great if you don't have the money, but just remarkable that people come. We had a box of tiles from 30 years ago. 2 boxes, 25 tiles. I said free. People came and took it. I'm like, okay, great. We tiled something 30 years ago, and it's just, they're in the garage. What do you do with these things? It's just amazing. As you get older, you have never-ending garbage you can't get rid of. It's just amazing. I'm telling you that when the day I die, they're gonna go in my closet. I'm like Red Skeleton, for those who don't know. I look like a bum. I have a stick with all my stuff like a hobo at the end. You know, they have the wrap around it. You can walk down the road like a hobo. That's all I have left of my name. My paddle.
G-Bucks is up today.
Probably when it's 10 plus.
It's up 2 cents.
There you go. I'm winning. So basically, I'm down 18 here. I'm up 2 here. I'm doing great. But I have a different mentality now. I'm finding situations that I think I have an edge on, and I'll just wait for it to happen. That's what getting older has turned me into. I do not want to sit in front of the computer. This afternoon, when I finish this call, I'm going to go get my suit on. I'm going to do a cannonball into the jacuzzi and enjoy 50 minutes of taking a steam, a jacuzzi. I was free and clear to do it for my knee, and that's what I'm going to do this afternoon versus standing here and looking to trade something for 25 cents. So I don't want to do that anymore. If I needed the money, I would stop doing these calls, and I would just go trade.
If you needed the money, you would let it go up. Oh, that's the wrong expression.
Yeah, you lost me on that one. I don't know what that means.
If they thought they could win, they would let it.
Yes, that's all you have to understand. That's the naked short selling motto. If you need to find anything about it, there's your answer. Why are they sitting here trying to manipulate finger motion down for pennies every day? It's like Chinese water torture. That's what they're trying to do to us. But we all understand it, that they're stuck. We all got it. They do the same thing in DJT. 37, let it go to 45, and then drive it down. And they can't even let it go up. I told you the margin, it starts to break them. What do you think? You got the 37. What do you think they said? Hurry up and knock it down. I'm sure if I can go find the chart, I could see, you know what, I'm going to do that right now. Wait, hold on a second. I was getting my knee worked out, so I really didn't.
Oh, got it coming.
Boy, I got to tell you, William, so many people getting 50-year-old people getting not knee replacements, they're getting knee hips. I see, at rehab, there's maybe 20 people, 3 knees, 10 hips. A lot of people getting hips. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But
they're all hipsters.
They must be dancing all day or something. I don't know what
bell-bottom slacks coming.
You can see the attack. It started around, I'll say 10:45. The stock was $36, $37. Boom, boom, boom. 3 attacks straight down. You can see the big markdowns. And it was at least 40, 60, 100,000 blast at a time in stock for 15 minutes from 10:45 or 10:30 to 11. Complete attack, and then it goes sideways again. It's that same pattern. Down, 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 down. Hurry up, sell it down.
I don't know if I should bring this up because it's not about me, but I know last week or some point I suggested when GameStop was like 31 something that you could trade it for DJT at $29.97 or $30. Anyway, GameStop is down. It's at $26.48. I don't know when people are going to recognize they run that stock up and then they sell into it. They get you all excited and then they pull it back. But I guess people just do the same thing over and over again.
I'll give you the GameStop recap. The company, Brian Cohen, has sold 140 million shares for $5 billion. 140 million shares. He sold it to the shorts. Not one person has ever filed that they bought the stock. That's not buying 100,000 shares. That's 140 million shares.
Without any record if they own 5%, 10%, because they don't own anything. Once they cover their shorts, there's no filing requirement that, I now have a zeroed out position.
Not one person has ever said they bought a position of size. That means he sold them directly to the shorts. The shorts gave the company money. and they said no more. We need to get out. Maybe I think it was a prearranged trade between the SEC and the short sellers and the company. The company had Brian Cohen trapped in Bed Bath & Beyond short squeeze. They were going to prosecute him. They dropped the charges the next day that he sold the stock to the shorts. Clear as a bell that it was all prearranged. But the investors in GameStop want to still keep going after it, which they have every right to. I could care less. I told you it's more like of a pyramid scheme. William buys it, I'm buying it, I tell someone else to buy it, and people keep pushing it up. And you can see that it didn't have that same short squeeze appeal that it had before. It didn't have that same squeeze. DJT has that squeeze appeal now. GameStop does not have that appeal right now. So again, the company is now a fundamental play. The company has the money, and now it's a show me stock. Show me that you're building a business. I told them to open up a brokerage firm. Why? If the brokerage stock is so wonderful, why don't you just do that? Do the same thing as they do. Right? Virtue is just a complete criminal, and his stock is $37. It's worthless. Interactive Brokers went to almost $200. What is he doing? It's $187. Interactive Brokers. Taking orders, taking people. What are they doing? They don't trade. How are they making money? So again, GameStop is something that, listen, it's going to keep living because people want it to keep living and they want to believe it. I'm not here to crush your dreams. I have no idea what the short is anymore, but I wouldn't put my efforts to it. If you want to buy it, I told you, buy the dip. When it pops up, sell it, buy some cheap calls, and don't look at it. That's my advice on that one. DJT, you got the president, the attorney general, the head of the FBI, and you had Devin Nunes, the head of the Intel committee, that want this stock to go up. I think that's a pretty good onslaught of firepower that you got on your side. And I would look at it that way. That's what I'm looking at. What else we got, William? Let's go.
Not much. There's no questions. And
There has to be a question. Let's go back to the old questions. How high? Where do I put my stop? Where do I do this? Remember, people, anytime you're playing a stock that's got short squeeze potential or you're involved in a short squeeze, do it till cancel orders. Use limits. Don't get taken out. Don't buy a stock at the market. Never buy a stock at the market. The way to do it is you put an order in if you want to buy it. Let's say the stock is 35. You say, I'd like to buy 1,000 shares of DJT, and I have to use a 36 limit. And you say, oh my God, why would this pay $1 more? You won't pay $1 more. You may pay $35.05 for it. But you will not miss it up to 36. That's why you do it. And that's what people do. If you want to sell it, and the stock is 35, you want to make sure you make your sale. You say sell 1,000 shares of stock at 34.25 limit. You will get, the lowest you will sell it is 34.25. How about if you go to buy 1,000 shares of stock at DJT, you put a market order in, and the stock just happens to gap at that point, and you pay $70 for it. And you say, oh God, you got to be kidding me. Well, that's happened before. I've seen it happen before. And that's why you don't do that. Those are little things that you need to understand about trading. I'm sorry, I got to keep getting up. It makes my leg feel better, and I walk around a little bit. Remember, as a long, you can only sell the stock one time. Everyone on this phone call, go out and try to sell something that you don't have. You can't, your brokerage firm won't let you do it. Your account won't let you do it. You have to sell it short and see if you can borrow it. If you go to your account and just try to say, I'm going to sell, 1,000 shares of stock. And they say, well, you don't own it. You can't sell it. You want to sell it short? You go, no. And then they won't let you do it. So in finger motion, anybody who wants to sell it looks like they sold it. There's nothing going on. The only seller is the people that are manipulating it. And that's coming to an end.
Do you think the same people manipulating stocks can manipulate crypto?
I don't know enough about crypto to advise on that. I don't know. I know Wall Street's trying to get their greedy fingers in here. So if they're getting involved, yes, they're going to try to manipulate it. My older brother was quite concerned that everyone is trying to stop short selling and people won't sell it, and it leads to a disaster because everything's going to go straight up in a straight line. But my brother's very old school, and he goes, no one's ever selling anything anymore. And I said, yeah, just go look at finger motion. They never stop selling. So his line, I debunked his story right away. Like he thinks that you need short selling, and I'm completely against it. He thinks that we're too stupid, that we don't know when to sell when something goes up. And I just gave you a great example of my daughter who bought a house, fixed it up on her own with her husband. Thank God he's so handy. He fixed it up. He did everything, tile work, this work, that work. And they made over $400,000 in 2 years. Of course, now they're living in my house, but they made $400,000. And we went to dinner to celebrate, and I congratulated my daughter and my son-in-law for doing exactly what I've been doing my whole life. And that is making money when you can, because making that type of money is just enormous. And they did it. And I said, just take your time. There'll be a time when the housing market sells off and you can find your dream house and you can walk into it with a nice pocket of money, because I do not have the capital to give them. And they will. I'm glad they did it. I wanted to sell my house many times, but my wife won't. She's nailed to the wall. She won't let us do it.
You can give them finger shares.
Yeah, they all own it. I told my daughter, take the money, never listen to a word I say, and go hide it. That's what I told her. But again, she traded. She learned how to buy the dip and sell the rip. And I was very proud that she did that. Because now, no matter what happens in the world, they have a place to stay, and they have money in the bank, and you can never, that's just amazing that they're able to do it, and I'm proud of it. And you can see finger motion was 196, 198. Someone comes in with another 400 to sell, another 300, 200, 400. Those are manipulation. That's all it is. Anything else, William?
No?
And that is 1,500 for sale. It's 1,100 by 1,500. So 800 now becomes 1,500. These aren't real sellers. People do not sell like that. If I wanted to sell 25,000 shares, I put it out there 197 and go away. It's either going to take it. You can't go up until you go past my 197 offer, right? That's how we used to do it. Now you have to watch this slow manipulation all day of 100 shares. All they're trying to do is keep the spreads close. Remember I showed you before in Root? Let me see if I can find the stock that's got a big spread. You look at Root, 96.52, 96.52 to 97.12. 48, another 12, right? You're talking 50, 60 cent spread. So if you want to buy it, you got to pay 16 cents high. If you want to sell it, you're losing 60 cents. That's the stock that the shorts are not part of anymore. It's up $6 now today. That means the sell button is basically gone. Again, They drove it down the other day to get people to panic out, and now they're turning it back the other way. That's the shorts trying to cover. Finger motion is still in the manipulation phase. They're trying to keep it 1 cent. There's a seller there, people. We're not going away. There's a seller, there's another seller, and another seller. And it's just make-believe. It's just they're protecting the 230 million shares and the 1.6 million. If I was short 1.6 million at 225, William, you can bet your ass that I'd be starting accumulating 10,000 shares a day below $2 trying to buy it back, right? Why not? I could buy 10,000 shares a day, let's say below 2, if these are real sellers. And if by the end of the week I buy 50 back, if it gets back up to 2.25, I could throw 50 out there to short again, right? And put 25,000, put 25 cents, right? Times $12,000 a day, a week in my pocket. But they don't even do that. We went from 77,000 to 79,000, 196.99. That means someone tried to buy it at 197 and they shorted it at 196.99. They don't want it to trade at 197. Boy, I really am a broken record. All right, I'm just gonna go out and get a hot dog because it's now 2 o'clock, and I'm gonna go jump in the hot tub to wake up my leg from its what do you call it? My leg is still swollen from the surgery. It stays swollen for a while, I think. And just enjoy the rest of the day. Again, if anything happens, William, I will call back and check with you. And have a great day. All right?
All right. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Call ended.
Whoever that was the other day, Adam, it's hard for me to stay interested in the same thing over and over again. But then again, let's get off of mothers. After all. All right. I don't know what to share with you, but I will point out something that I didn't get to tell you yesterday. So it's a little out of context, but silver, an ounce of silver costs you, I don't know, $31. In 1980, silver hit its high of around $50, and then in 2011, around $50. But without adjusting it for inflation. But the last time we had this really big bull market in gold and silver ended in 1980. So anyway, silver hasn't basically gone up since 1980. Is that an accurate statement? Well, it rallied, and pulled back. But it's never really gone above the 1980 high. Well, since 1980, there's 18 times more people in the world, 18x people, who, by the way, can buy silver. There's 55 times more currency, 55x more currency. They can buy more silver. There's 56 times more millionaires today than there were in 1980. There's 200 times more billionaires today than there were in 1980. There's 220 times more consumer credit today than in 1980. There's 31 times more assets under management today as opposed to 1980. There's 49 times greater global stock market cap today than in 1980. And silver languishes under $50, ignoring inflation. Is it because silver's a bad asset? Is it because silver's manipulated? Is it because people are going to XRP instead of silver? I don't know. But the physical amount of silver that's available is not enough to continue where we're headed as an economy. Above ground, ignoring the trading. Why don't sheep shrink in the rain? Because they have sheep's skin? Because they're woolly? Now, on this stock, that I'm still not going to talk about it, but somebody up here asked me, let me find it. Let me find it. This is what was asked. And I looked at the S1. The things I noticed about the S1, look, it hasn't been approved yet by the SEC. They don't name, as far as I can tell, they do not name a brokerage firm, an investment bank, a den of thieves. It doesn't seem to name that. And they stated a price assuming the average of the high and low on December 4th. And they put a price out there. It doesn't say that's where the offering will be made. I don't see a toxic formula in the prospectus. I might have missed it. I literally no longer can see anything out of my left eye, so I might have missed it. I can see light. I can see if it's light or if it's dark, but I can't read anything else. That's what happened over the last week. So no, I don't think it'll go back down there. I don't think it'll go back down there. Then somebody else asked, what was my, oh, here it is, Fernando. What would go, it's out there. It's out there. I really just don't want to talk about it because I've been asked not to. But what I did say in the past is I thought it could be a 10x, maybe more. But I also emphasized as it's going up, you be the judge. Don't hesitate to take your original money off the table. I think from here it would be a riskier call to say, obviously, to say 10x. It still could happen. But I would stand by from lower price levels. I would stand by 10x as a good target or better. But I don't know. We gotta follow it as there's more information. All right, I don't know what else to talk about. Normally I'd be excited by that call there, but cold water's been thrown on my story, so I'm on my recommendation. So for now, we'll just wait and see what happens. at some point, I hope there's one person out there that moved from GME to DJT. It was just so obvious but anyway, I know it's hard to do. Why don't sheep shrink in the rain? I don't know. All right, I don't have anything else, so I guess I'll just sign off. Yeah, I don't really have anything else that's worth going over. Um, I would not, like Ham said earlier, we all let our losses run and we cut our profits short. I would think this is the time to fight that urge of cutting profits short. But I'm not a diamond hands guy, so you've got to do it according to your own risk. You know, situation, but take your original money off the table. And I'm going to end this for now, and we'll talk tomorrow. I wish everyone well. Thank you for joining, and we'll catch you on the flip side.